Welcome to Messages for the Signs for the week of September 13th. I cannot believe we are already almost 2 weeks through this month already. We are time jumping. Have you been experiencing that, Sagittarius? That's a conversation for another day. I am Tammy Toshnik, and remember, this reading is general, and so take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know for their best and highest good this week? Interesting. A couple of similar cards to our friends, the Scorpios. So this feels like some overriding energy. So we've got Yang, Never Ending Story, No Place Like Home, Ride the Wave, Coming to Life, and Magic Prayer. So I want to start down here because this is all about wishes being fulfilled for you, Sagittarius. What you've been working on now, you're seeing it. So it isn't only in your mind and in your heart, you're seeing it in the outside world. You can see this lady here, she's dancing, she's coming to life, sort of being born from this, and now you can see it. That's what I want to keep saying or continue to say to you, Sagittarius. You can see it now. A lot of movement going on too. So for some of you, this will be literal, moving house. For some of you, Sagittarius, won't be literal, but for some it is. I feel like I want to go this way too, that I feel like you kind of cleared some things up, at least for the current time period, Sagittarius. Never-ending story comes up when we are just repeating the same things over and over to ourselves, and some of it isn't even true anymore. It may have been true in the past, it may not even be true now, or it may never have been true in a sense, because we may have added to the story or we may have put feelings onto it. We all know, right? I don't need to explain that to you, Sagittarius. We all know how we do that. Every human being is capable of doing that, and then we get stuck and we get in our own way. So something has shifted here. Your mindset has shifted, Sagittarius, is what I want to say, and now boom, you're off to the races. Yang is that positive movement forward, masculine energy. So this could be about a man as well for some of you, Sagittarius, a man coming in, and your relationship shifting, but it could also be a man coming in to help you as well. Or it could be you getting more in touch with your own masculine energy. Then we've got Ride the Wave, which is all about abundance, prosperity, all manner of opportunity is available to you right now, Sagittarius. So just lean into it. Magic Prayer is just that. Prayers have been answered. So whatever you've been wishing for, hoping for, talking to God about, praying for is here. It's come to life. It's made manifest. So this is what I want to keep saying to you, Sagittarius, because they're showing me hopes and dreams, feelings, desires now into the physical world. And that is what happens, right? Because anything that we want, anything that we can conceive of already exists on another plane. And the trick is to bring it here. We've got to bring it in here. If you want to think of it as being on another planet, which it isn't, but if you just want that visual, think of it as being on another planet, and we just have to transport it here. It's sort of like that, and it's the process that we get mixed up in because we think it's one way and it's really not, and we forget the steps and we do too much of one thing and not enough of another, and on. But we just have to sometimes remember everything is possible. Everything has already been created. Because if we're thinking of something, whether it's a business endeavor or a new way even to do this type of thing, It's already been created. Not necessarily that someone else has already done it, which of course, so many things people have already done in their own way. There's not much new in a sense being created right now that we're thinking of, that we might want in our lives. It's something that someone else has typically already done. So that's helpful actually, because that shows you that the path is already open for that creative process. But we have to remember that everything already exists in another field, because we wouldn't be able to conceive of it otherwise. The reason we conceive of anything is because it's calling to us from somewhere else. So we think we create something out of thin air or out of the blue, and that is so not true. Whether we get divine inspiration, so think of an artist who, or not even, let's not even think of an artist for this. Let's think of a creative person, an engineer, or somebody who thinks of, let's think of the guy who created the zipper, for instance, right? He didn't come up with that out of the blue. He would have dreamed of that, had visions of it, just had a feeling, just saw it come together, etc. So how did that happen? Well, that was possible on another plane, right? So we have to remember that. We have to reverse engineer sometimes and stop thinking that we are creating from, like I said, out of the blue or from nothing. We must get in contact with that which is already out there, and then we bring it in. And so anyway, that was a bit of a long story to tell you that that's the situation you're finding yourself in. And no place like home. I feel like this card comes up for you a lot, Sagittarius, or that just might be me misremembering. But this is about being comfortable in your own skin too. And whenever we step forth in authenticity, we stop trying to pretend we're someone else, look like someone else, speak like someone else, everything opens up. And so this is about being comfortable. Again, it could be for some of you, you're actually moving house, but I suspect many of you, this will be more symbolic. So I hope that helps you, Sagittarius. Moving on to Capricorn. There's a lot of energy in that message. All right, what does Capricorn need to know for the best and highest good this week? For the week of September 13th, Capricorn, I am Tammy Toshnik, in case you didn't know. And remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know for their best and highest good? Interesting. Similar cards as Sagittarius. And Sagittarius had a couple of the same cards as Scorpio. So we are seeing overriding energy here. So blessed, new life, here and now, making a choice, listening, and ride the wave. So very similar to Sagittarius, Capricorn, something new you've created. It's not just that you've been working on something, it's now you're seeing it. This is what I had to tell Sagittarius. You're seeing it in the physical world, in the here and now. Be here now. Blessed. I feel like, Capricorn, I know you have a tendency to move ahead. You're always looking to new horizons, what's around the bend. Think about the goat traveling up the mountain, right? Always forward momentum with a Capricorn. And that's part of your gifts, really, your ability. But sometimes, actually really all the time, but sometimes we do need to just focus on the here and now and not worry so much about what is coming down the pike. And so making a choice, there is a decision here for you to make. But I feel like Capricorn, just make it for now. Don't don't worry too much about how will this impact me in the future. Again, Capricorns are very future oriented, always going to the next, the next bend, around the next corner, always trying to see. And I almost feel like that's tiring right now for you, Capricorn. I feel like you need to be in the moment a little more. And like I said, that's where we need to be anyway. But with Capricorns do have the ability to, like I said, be in the forward energy, in futurizing, etc. And it doesn't impact them as much as some other people. So I don't know. I do think that's a bit of an ability there for Capricorn. And but we do have to practice that being in the now too. And because this does feel like you've got opportunity here. I think actually what's happening, Capricorn, is you have more than one choice to make, and they're all good. And so I think that's what's concerning you. You're trying to figure out what's going to last the longest or work the best for the future. And guess what? I don't know that you're going to figure that out. And so take that pressure off of yourself and just focus. What makes sense to me right now? And let's lean into that. That's where the blessings are coming from, the here and the now. 2 years ago, nobody was predicting that we would still be experiencing what we're experiencing, or at least we weren't predicting it to the degree that we're seeing. And so what's the point? What's the point of trying to see so far ahead? How about just focus today and maybe even tomorrow, but don't worry about next month or next year, because things will shift. And listening, this does mean that you're not hearing something. So are you not listening to someone else's point of view on this, Capricorn? And that might help you if you actually stop and listen to what someone else is trying to tell you. This may be the third or fourth time you've heard that advice, and so now you're going to go, okay, I get it. I can't just do this my way, or worry myself through this, or project myself into the future, etc. And again, here and now, Capricorn, all kinds of opportunity. Oh my goodness, that's going to create something wonderful for you. Blessings. Of course, be grateful in the moment. Not only grateful for when we receive something, as you know, and that is the blessing. Focusing on all of the opportunities you have right now. Tomorrow will take care of itself, Capricorn. I hope that helps you moving on to Aquarius and Pisces.